Okay, so welcome all in this session. This is a practice session, just like a group interview. So I'm going to ask the questions. Question can be from the Java, and second question can be from my channel also, because I told you in my session also that you should practice the Java question from the session, as well as you should try to explore the YouTube also. So anybody who know the answer, he can start giving the answer. You don't need to raise the hand. So somebody will start giving the answer, he will complete, and another person can give the answer. Okay, so you are free for that. Okay, so let me do one thing. The first question, you can say, first question I'm going to ask you, that is what are the various access specifier for Java classes in Java?
Public,
Yeah,
Yeah,
public,
so
public,
yeah,
private, default,
default,
protected.
very good. So we have, so anybody who want to explain what are the purpose of these access specifier, anybody can give the answer.
public,
Yeah, the
Yeah.
amount of accessibility provided to the particular code block actually defined. If it is a private, then only set of people can in the class we can actually access it. If it is a public, then we can access it in multiple classes, and we can actually call it for different functions. And default is the provided by Java itself, and one is protected and private. Yeah.
Okay. So now, what is the purpose of static methods and static variables?
static variable is accessible. It's a shared memory, and everybody can access from there as well for a single object. And static method is also uh, is the shared one, and everybody can share from by using object and every class.
Yeah, so yeah, that is a really excellent answer. So static things and static method that are, you can say simple word, they are shared. They are shared among the objects. So you can say it's actually whenever you can actually save the memory. Second thing is that the benefit in the Java is that whenever you have any static methods or variables, you can access that variable method directly with the name of class. You don't need to create the object. Okay, so that is the, how many loops are in Java?
For loop, do while loop,
While and while.
While
while
and
loop.
do.
Okay, so now the question which is you can say important is that what is the difference between while loop and do while loop? What is the main difference?
Yeah, in while loop, actually, if it doesn't satisfy the conditions, it will not run the loop. But in do
Mhm.
while loop, it will at least run the loop once and then will check the condition.
Excellent, clapping for you. That is the main difference. In the, you can say, in the do while loop, at least your body part will execute at least once. But in the, you can say, while, it totally depends on the condition. That is the main difference. Excellent. What is final keyword in Java? We use the final keyword with the, you can say, property, and we can use the final keyword with the function also. So what is the use of final keyword? You can tell me in respect of property also. I've already, you can say, we have discussed this thing.
Is to consider the variable class and method in the
Yeah, excellent, Mukesh. Mukesh, you can switch on your camera also. Everybody's switch on, so you can also switch on the camera. Yeah, great, Mukesh. Yeah, Mukesh, that is right. That the purpose of, you can say, that final keyword is to make the constant. Like whenever you are using the final keyword with your property, like you can say your class property, it becomes the, you can say, constant. If you are using the final with static, it is called class constant. And if you are using final with non-static property, it will become instant constant. And now other thing is that if you are using the final keyword with a function, okay, so what is happening that I have not covered, but let me tell you, if you're using the final keyword in the signature of a function, then that function become final. Final means in my inheritance concept, child
yes.
cannot overwrite it. So that is, okay, so that is. So now my next question is that, can we declare a class as a abstract without having an abstract method? Means without any abstract method, can we define a class abstract?
No.
No, class has
No,
to have one
no.
abstract method.
Okay, so here you can say the answer is that little bit difference, that it is whenever a developer is designing a class and he want to put any abstract method in that class, in that case it is necessary that he need to use abstract keyword in the class declaration, but it is not vice versa. Like suppose take the example, initially you decided I will create an abstract class. You are creating a class, you can say class abstract student. After that, if you are not keeping any abstract method there, then it is also okay. It is not mandatory. Are you getting my point? But that is useless. Why you are creating an abstract class? So that you can keep your abstract and non-abstract methods both in the same class. But it is not necessary. Okay. What is the difference between the abstract class and interface in Java?
So in interface, we have all the methods as abstract, whereas a class can have methods with body as well as the abstract methods.
Excellent, excellent. That is the main difference. Excellent. Yeah, right. By default in the interface, there are so many differences, but the main difference is that in interface, by default, all the methods are abstract. So that's why you don't need to use the abstract keyword in the method declaration also. If you are not using, it is assumed that it is abstract here. Excellent. Okay, now my next question is that it is compulsory for a try block to be followed by a catch block in the exception handling.
Yes, at least one catch block should be there.
It's a good practice.
Yeah, so it is a good
Yeah.
practice, but again you can say answer is that where you can say if you want to, if you don't want to use the catch block, you can use it, but after try you have to use the finally one. So try, after try you should use the catch or you should use the finally. But yeah, again somebody has told me that is right, that it is not a good practice. Every time you should follow the thing like try should be followed by the catch, because the purpose of catch is different and the purpose of finally is different. Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay. Can a class have multiple constructors?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
one is
Yes.
default, another can be overridden.
Yes, yes, excellent. That is right answer. A class can have multiple constructors, and you know that yesterday we have learned a concept that is called function overloading, in which a class can have multiple function with the same name. In the same way, when in the class you have multiple constructors, because constructors have different type of parameters, non-parameters, default. So we call that concept constructor overloading. Okay. Okay. Now my question is that why strings in Java are called as immutable? This question is from channel. That is a proper video on that. Now it is going to check whether you are following the channel or not. So again, my question is that why strings in Java are called as immutable?
Immutable means the you cannot change the state and behavior after the creating the string.
Excellent. Yes. Immutable means once you have created the object of a class. So if you're talking about string, in the string, if you have created the object of a class, you cannot modify it. Okay. Whenever you're trying to modify, actually you are trying to modify, like you are trying to append some string on that. You are feeling the changes are happening in the same object. But what is happening in the memory? Whenever you make some modification, it creates a new object in the memory. Okay.
You can define and initialize to another variable.
Yes, you can disguise to another variable, but behind the scene, it is every time you are making a, you can say addition, you are making a concatenation, any operation you are doing, it is making on the new object here. So you can go through that video and try to understand the complete understanding of the immutable. Okay, now one important question again from the channel: how we can execute any code before main method? Where I should write the code so that it can be executed before main method?
In static block.
Excellent, Ramesh. Excellent. If you want to put any code you want to run, we know that because by default, everybody know that whenever we want to run a class, we start running the class, start execution from the main method. But if you want to put some code, you can say if you want to run some code before the main method, you should put in the static block. And we have, you can say that is the very, very important feature of the Java. Okay. Now my question, next question is that which type of exceptions are caught at compile time?
Checked exception.
Checked exception are caught at compile time. Can you give me the example of, anybody can give the example of any checked exception?
Let's say if we are using a file to read a file and file is not there, then
Yes.
during compilation it's checking. So
Yes, so everybody answer is right. File not found is the best example of checked exception, because whenever we are trying to write the code to read the file, we don't know whether at the runtime file will be there or not. But my code is making a, you can say asking us to take some decision on that. Either you should throw is or you should take a try and catch. Okay. Okay, so you can say now again the question from the channel, because the purpose of this is so that I can make you show that how you should prepare yourself. What is the difference between a string and a string buffer class? String buffer. Anybody know? And trust me, that's the only purpose of this session, so that I can tell you that how your preparation should be go. But I can make sure that whatever I'm teaching you, whatever I'm taking the topics in the session, plus whatever I'm uploading on the, you can say, YouTube, that combined together, your course will be that. And you 99% saying your interview not go beyond that. Okay. So now the thing is that you can go through about it. What is string and string buffer? Simply, I can say that here string, the main difference is that you can say string is immutable, like Mukesh told us that string is mutable. So whenever you are making some operations on the string object, every time it creates the new object. Okay, so if you want to save the memory, in that case you should create the string by another option. You can also create the string with the help of string buffer classes, but it is called mutable. Immutable means every time whenever you are making a changes, it will happen in the same object. Okay, so how it can be explained in terms of memory, that you can get it there. Okay, now I've already told you about, you can say, a different type of access specifier. I told you about the arrays also. So can you define the complete signature of the main method? Like what is the meaning of everything in my main method? We have the signature of main method: public, static, void, main, string, args. What is the meaning of these all things? Anybody can explain?
So public is, it is like, I mean, accessible by everybody.
Yeah.
But static is basically your, I mean, without creating instance of the class you're calling, so that is static. Void is it's not returning anything, so that's why void.
Yeah, excellent. And the name of the method is main, because whenever you are
Main,
creating a
yeah.
method, definitely you have to choose a name for that. So you
Yeah.
have to decide a name. So Java decided that whenever it will start executing the code,
It will look
the
for
name of the
main
method
method.
main. And now the last thing is that what is the purpose of string array input? Because it is taking a parameter of a string array, string args. So what is the purpose of that one?
That I don't know.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, so whenever you want to run the main method, and nowadays nobody is going to put the parameters, something from the, you can say, console before running the main method. You can see your class, but if you want to pass some input parameters in your main method also, you can pass it. And whenever you pass it from the command prompt, it directly received in your that string args argument. Okay, for that also we have a very good video on the channel that is called complete definition of the main method. Okay. Okay, now tell me, how many type of exceptions are in Java? How many type of exceptions? We have already discussed right now. Somebody told me. So
Basically,
anybody?
I mean, the major category is checked and unchecked exceptions. And
Excellent.
then under that, we have various exceptions. So arithmetic, mostly, I mean, arithmetic exception is there, file not found exception is there.
Yeah,
Null
that is
So,
right.
pointer,
So
null pointer exception, and mostly compile time and runtime
runtime and
exceptions are there.
compile time exception.
yes. So simply when somebody is asking, the simple answer is that there are two type of exceptions. One is called checked exception and one is called unchecked exception. And now whatever you are telling that like arithmetic exception, file not found, null pointer, these are the examples of these exceptions, right? Like you can say file not found is example of checked exception.
Exception.
Okay. Class, you can say class not found is the example of checked exception. Array index out of bound, right? This is the example of unchecked exception.
Unchecked, yeah.
Because at runtime, whenever you try to enter some data in the array beyond the size, then you will get. Okay, so this is the thing. Now again the question, what is serialization? That is also uploaded on the channel. Like what is serialization? It is also it is a, you can say, theoretical question.
To convert
Maybe.
to convert the object into a file stream so that we can share that in the network to another person. And
X. Yeah.
deserialization is that to convert back to the same condition as in the form of object. So it's a deserialization.
Excellent, clapping for you. Excellent, right? Whenever you want to, you can say convert your object, so that whenever you want to convert your object into the bytes, only the purpose that why you convert your object into the bytes, so that you can travel the data. You want to store in a some file database, so you can store in the form of bytes. You know that data is actually at the end converts into the bytes also. So if you want to convert your object into the bytes so that you can store it in a file anywhere, this is called serialization. And if you want to go into the detail, you can also get the details on the, you can say, channels. Okay. Okay. Now, what is the concept of overloading in Java? What is overloading?
Method name should be same, and the data type should be different or in a different sequence. So that is the overloading.
Yeah. So overloading is a concept where you can say in Java you can have multiple functions with the same name in the same class, but you have to make a difference in terms of number of parameters, sequence of parameters, or type of parameters. If you are making a difference using these three, any one of these three, then you can put same name for multiple functions in the same class, and this is called overload. Okay. So now you can say, my next question is that what is the difference between the array and array list? What is the main difference? We have already covered. We have already covered the, you can say, collection. Also, we have covered the array. So what is the main difference?
Mostly arrays have the homogeneous, they accept homogeneous type of data, but array list can accept different types of data.
Yes, you can say that is heterogeneous. And what is the another difference in terms of, you can say, size?
In arrays, the size is fixed, but array list we can define the size according to the usefulness.
Yeah, that is, you can say, dynamic. In the array, whenever you are declaring an array, at that time you declare the size, like you can say, if you're declaring an int, you write the syntax like int array ar are equal to new int, and in the square bracket you are going to define the size. That is important. At the time of declaration you have to give the size. Okay. But in the, you can say, array list, it is dynamic. You don't need to give the size. It is not mandatory. And then whenever you are going to add elements, it will keep on adding the element there. Okay. Is it okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So now you can say I've asked these questions. There are lots of questions are there, but as I told you, the purpose of this session is to just give you the idea that how you should prepare yourself. Not only try to limit yourself within the sessions, try to explore. And for exploring, you don't need to go into the big sky. You can explore the things on the channel. Everything you will get it there. And every time I try to update the interview questions program, everything on the channel. So if you try to limit your channel also, to my channel also, still you are good for your interview. Is it okay?
Sir, I have one question.
Yeah.
What is the synchronization in Java?
You can say synchronization in Java is what is happening, that whenever you can say, whenever anybody try to access any you can say function. So synchronization is a concept when multi-threading concept comes into the picture. Like you can say your program is, you can say your function is you can say called by multiple threads. So what happens that at the same time, if two threads are trying to call the function, that is called parallel. So it can create a problem. It can create a problem because if some person is trying to modify some properties in that function, and other thread is also trying to work on that, so it can be a problem. Like somebody is trying to manipulate the value and some other is getting the updated value or not. So you can say, I can give the example of that. For example, you can say, suppose take the best example is that if you can take the example of a ATM in which there is a single account. Okay, there is a single account, and in the single account they have two cards. Okay, so you can take the example, husband has a card and a wife has a card, and but the account is same. So whenever they are trying to make a transaction on the ATM, so the account should be synchronized. Synchronized means whenever one card is going to be used in the ATM and some transaction is going to be performed in the account, like it is withdrawing some amount from that, at that time second transaction should not take place, right? You can assume it. Suppose take the example, a husband just enter the card in the ATM machine. Okay, enter the card in the ATM machine, and first of all it check the balance. Suppose take the example, balance is 20,000. Okay, now he has just make a transaction of make a transaction for the withdrawal of 20,000. If this whole process is not completed, and the same time before completing the process, if wife has entered the second add-on ATM card in the another ATM machine, what will happen? She will also get the balance of 20,000 because transaction of withdrawal is not completed. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
So what in that
Yes.
case, what will happen? She will get the information 20,000 are in the account. So she will also make a withdrawal transaction of 20,000. If both the transaction not in the synchronization, husband will also withdraw the 20,000 and wife will also withdraw the 20,000. Actual in the account was 20,000, but both have withdrawn the 20,000. So that's why synchronization makes sure that your transaction will be at a time only one process will take the control into the function. So we create the function with the keyword that is called synchronize. Okay.
Actually, he asked in one interview two questions. One is the synchronization, one is the matrix chaining. I know
Okay.
about the matrix chaining, but did not know synchronization.
Yeah, synchronization, that I told you, that whenever you want to make sure that at a time multiple synchronization always take place in the case of multi-threading, when multiple you can say threads are trying to access your function. So you want to make sure that once a transaction is completed by you can say one object or one thread, then other transaction should take place. So that's why we use the concept of synchronization. We can achieve the synchronization by using the synchronized keyword in the function, or we can create a synchronized block also. Like within the function, we can just make a particular block and just make it synchronized. Okay, so this is the, you can say, synchronization. Maybe the video is available on the YouTube also, but if it is not available, I will try to make an upload. Okay, so here I'm just you can say binding the session, and I will upload this video on the YouTube, and just you can just go through that so that you can understand that how which type of question can be asked and how you should give the answer for that. Okay, so this is only for learning purpose. After this one, when you prepared, again I'm going to conduct a session with a proper interview with some hard level of questions. Okay, so thank you.